You're the boss here?
I think so. Sorry!
Sue's gonna kill you!
Something about a weapon. A gun. Just kidding, that was earlier. This equipment.
It's out of
Oh,
date.
I know.
I'm telling you, I want to upgrade. I will be an advocate for upgrading.
Ugh, I don't want to upgrade. Paper and pencil's good for me. I mean, really, who needs all that stuff? Like, okay, a mobile phone? Really? Who would have thought?
I have no idea.
Me neither. 15 years later. Oh. This is good. Just kidding. So 15 years later. Oh, for God's sake, that was exhausting. 3 calls.
Rebecca, I have something, a gift for you. It is time to get with the times and get out of the old and in with the new.
A wireless headset.
Yes.
Will it help if I do when I do reply all like I did to my boss?
Oh, you did not.
I did. It was just one joke. Who said we needed email anyway? It's like that silly CRM.
Oh, girl.
Paper and pencil is fine, and call transferring is all I need.
Well, you have no idea what I just did. I thought I was texting my hubby. It went to the mayor.
This is why I say no texting. I'm just saying no texting. That's just useless equipment. Honestly. We need to stay in this. Even the fact that I have to go outside and smoke is very annoying. I got to go between calls 2 and 3.
I've been trying.
Yeah.
Well,
Our break's over.
yeah, time to get back to work.
All right. I hope that you enjoy the spoof on your call center. And we apologize about the technical difficulty. We did practice, but apparently not well enough. So we did improv with our microphones. Can you guys hear me in the back?
Yeah.
They probably can hear me at the station, is my guess. Anyway, I sound fabulous. Anyway, I'm Sue Ponarelli.
And I'm Vicki Rude.
And we are Improv Your Work, and we are really, really excited to be here today. We are going to demonstrate, make you guys work, have some interactive exercises, and see how improv can help you at your work as well as your everyday lives.
So just a little bit about my experience with improv. I have been doing improv since 2007. I have studied at Improv Olympic, Laugh Out Loud Theater, as well as West Side Improv, and I still perform every week. But on the business side of things, I'm in the private sector. I'm a director of business development, and I've been doing that for about 10 years. And I improvise every day, like most of you. I have 2 small, well, they're not small anymore, but 2 kids, and they definitely keep me on my toes every day.
So a little bit about my background. I know you're going to be surprised that I'm the 311 Center Manager here in Evanston, in case you didn't hear that this morning. But I also have spent a long time at the police department, sometimes longer than some of you have been around, I mean age-wise. I have worked all over the police department. I also, in my other life, was a flight attendant for a major carrier for 25 years. So we improvise every day with either one of those jobs, and I know you guys can relate to improvising at work as well. I started in improv because my mom cut out an ad that said, "Study at Players Workshop of Second City," and she put a little note on it, "Because you're loud." And it was the best advice ever, and yes, I'm still loud. I have no inside voice. We all pretty much know that. So we're excited. Vicki and I perform at improvisation throughout Chicago as well as in the suburbs. And today we're going to do a little different and do some interactive, but we're also going to do some good old traditional improv, and we really hope that you enjoy that as well.
And you will be engaging in some of the activities. We won't put you on the spot. You're not going to be doing anything you're uncomfortable with, but we will be having some fun at the tables and up here on stage.
Right, so we want to talk about today's agenda, and we're going to talk about what is improv. just in case you don't know. And the other part is rules of improv. Of course, for someone like me, it cracks me up. There are rules of improv. So who knew? And I know in your folders you have a list of rules, and we will not be going over every single one, I promise. We're going to talk about work in improv. Whether you're in the private sector or the public sector, you'll be able to relate with today's presentation. We'll be doing some warm-ups. I'm not a big exercise person, so trust me, you won't sweat. And the fun part is we're going to play, and we certainly will look forward to engaging with you and playing as well.
All right, so by raising your hands, has anyone in the room done improv in their life before? Awesome. We have a couple. Very cool.
Come on up. No.
How about has anyone seen improv? And I'm not talking about stand-up. I'm talking about actual team improv. Awesome, awesome. So kind of know how it goes. We go on stage and we pretend and play make-believe, just like we did when we were kids. The definition of improv is something that is performed or created without a script. So the funniest thing I learned when I first started doing improv is that you're using two parts of your brain at once. You're remembering and creating at the same time. So it's a really good exercise to keep us youthful, for sure. Some of the forms of improv, music, as we know, jazz. We also have classic improv like we just performed. And I just want to bring it back to everyday life. One of the greatest gifts I got from doing improv was actually learning how to use it in my life. Agreement, justification, working with others, having the ability to laugh at myself through good times and bad. And in my work life, it has made a huge impact as I do sales. So I talk to everybody. And one of the main points of improv is listening. Listening is a huge part of improv. You can't move forward and be available to your partner if you're not listening. And I think everybody in every aspect of our lives needs to work on this skill, especially with all our cell phones and technology, how we can get sucked in. So as far as that goes, I'll tell you a little story about recently, actually, where I had to actually use improv in my job. I was at a meeting, sales meeting, and it was at the point where we were proposing. We were all prepared. We had our slides done. We had the contract created. Everything was done. And in the room walked a new buyer. And he had completely flipped the script on us and changed everything. Changed what he was expecting, changed what the scope of the program was going to look like. And on the fly, we really had to listen, number one, and agree, number two, and find out if that was okay. And number three, we had to come up with something with him collaboratively. And I truly don't think that I would have been able to do that without these skills that I've learned in improv. So it's quite an experience.
Great. So as Vicki said, improv and work, we do it all the time. As a manager of a call center, what time do we improvise in our call centers? Who can think of a time? What's that? I didn't hear you. I heard a joke, but I didn't get to hear it. How about during a weather event? Or during staff shortage? What do? We instead of maybe entering in our CRM, maybe we do a Google Doc. Maybe we do an Excel sheet and we improvise. Maybe we buy them lunch and we say, here, don't move, answer your third call. So it's important. So whether it's, again, private or public, we really, really want to drive home that improv can be done every day.
All right, so as the people that have done improv, and probably most people have heard yes and, Tina Fey says it all the time, say yes and figure it out later. And I think in life we all do that. We all kind of go with what we're given, and we have to in the moment and move forward. The nice thing about improv and the skills that it teaches you, it's a practice. And you have to keep practicing and forcing yourself to, instead of disagree and want to do your own thing, in improv they teach you to say yes and put in your input, not just say yes. Kind of like, it reminds me of when you're going out to dinner with your friend or your significant other. Where would you like to go? I don't know. Where would you like to go? I don't know, you end up in your car for an hour and you go nowhere. But if you say yes and add, well, I would like to go to Wildfire, then you're there, you're somewhere. And it is a skill. It's a skill that we all can learn and really truly use in the workplace. And some of the stuff that it teaches us is obviously present moment awareness, creativity, communication skills, and most importantly, listening. And I'm going to talk about listening all day long because without it, we cannot improvise in our lives.
So, as we mentioned, you have a rule list in your folder. That was just a little gift from us to you to take home. Vicki and I picked what we considered our 3 favorite rules, which what we're going to talk about today, and weave in and out as we go through our exercises and our games and our warm-ups. The second rule that we love is thinking outside of the box. That's me, and that's Vicki. I'm more mature. And that's Vicki. Or maybe I'm older, so I got a bigger box. But really, the most important thing about thinking outside of the box is really, it's just not traditional thinking. And can be in a meeting. Who's gone to a meeting with their boss thinking it's on one topic, right? And you get in there and it's completely different, thrown for a loop. So I'm not getting that raise. You didn't call me up here for that. So, and what do? We shift gears. And again, we would want to use that yes and to move things forward and go from there. We also, just going back to our lovely diagram, again, that thinking outside of the box, does it fit into all these different categories? And we picked categories that were highlighted to us that we wanted to share with you today about being in the moment, being creative, communication skills, and of course going hand in hand with listening skills.
So yes, we all have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should probably listen twice as much as we talk. I heard that a long time ago. And another thing, I talk about practice and learning these skills because we are all, I don't know about you, but I'm guilty of thinking what I'm going to say while somebody else is talking. So I'm not getting the full picture of what's going on. And especially in these contact centers and call centers, you really do need to listen. I mean, that's a major point of your job, just as it is in sales. And in improv, we really have to focus and listen to what our partner is saying, because if we don't, everybody's looking at us like, oh, what are you talking about? What planet in Mars? So an example of listening is, let's say I'm on stage with Sue, and Sue tells me, well, you are the most handsome man on Mars. Well, I came into the scene thinking I was the most beautiful girl in America. So what am I supposed to do? Well, first of all, I had to listen to hear that. And second of all, I had to agree. I had to say, yep, I am the most handsome man on Mars and the richest. So, we do this silly, heightened stuff in improv, but it actually makes retaining some of this information quite fun. It makes it engaging. It makes us learn and practice these skills because, like I said, I don't know about you, but every day there's so much coming at me. Listening can be quite a challenge. All right.
All right. So every time that we perform, we present, basically, I do it at the call center just to get attention. Just kidding. We do warm-ups. And we have to warm up our brain as well as a physical warm-up. You're going to ask everyone to join us. You will not sweat. You're not going to run around in the parking lot. We're just going to ask everybody to stand.
Stand up.
And we're going to start, Vicki.
All right, so just to bring us all present, just take 2 deep breaths in and out. We do this before every show just to get everybody on the same page and get the energy in the room flowing and realize that nobody's judging you. They're all worried about what they're doing themselves. So deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. All right, so find a partner. Someone next to you. You guys can be partners. And if you don't mind introducing yourself to your partner. So here's what I want you to do. You're probably sitting next to a friend, I imagine. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you're all friends after last night. That was quite a party. But can you tell them something interesting that you like to do when you're not working that they already don't know if you are friendly? And please keep it PG.
Okay, we're going to ask that you come back together. Why I did this exercise. Come on back together. All about me up here.
Pay attention to Sue, everybody in the room.
All right, so our last warm-up that we're going to do with you will be a physical warm-up, and we do this to get the energy flowing. It's really, really important. So what we're going to do, it's kind of like the hokey pokey, but not. So you're going to take your right hand. We're going to start on the count of 5 and go to 1. So it will shake on it. It'll be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can't hear you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right foot, don't fall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This other foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here's a trick. We're going to start at 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Guess what? 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. So please remain standing, and we are going to start with some exercises and then move into some fun scenes.
All right, so this is just to get your brain thinking in terms of improv, because thinking outside of the box, as Sue was saying, you know, that was something that they came up with in the 70s and 80s in business to make people think laterally. I say just do improv and play pretend like you were a kid. So what we're gonna do is we're all gonna, on the count of 3, we're doing this together. I'll give you an example. We're gonna point to something in front of us or near us, and we're gonna call it something it is not. So I'm not gonna call this a computer. I'm gonna call this a buffalo. And as we count to 3, we'll all just keep renaming different things in front of you, but name it something different. Like this is nail polish, and that is a butterfly. Okay, so on the count of 3, if you could just start renaming things all together. 1, 2, 3.
Cigarette.
1, 2, 3.
Candy bar.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Makeup.
1, 2, 3. Okay, last one. Make it the most absurd and creative you can even think of. 1, 2, 3.
Car.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank
All right,
you.
thank you. We're going to stay standing for just one more minute, Dee. All right. So, renaming. Were we yes-anding? Yes, absolutely. We yes-and. We said, was that a nail polish? Absolutely. In our improv world, are you going to give me a gift? I'm going to give you a gift. I am going to give you a gift. So, one of our favorite things in improv is to give someone a gift. And I am going to give Vicki a gift. She's going to name that gift, and I'm going to justify it. You guys are going to do this as well. So I'm going to give Vicki a gift. I need this wireless mic over here, and I'm going to give her this gift. Here you go, Vicki. It's a gift.
Sue, thank you for this keys to the Ferrari.
Oh, you're very welcome, but it is a red Ferrari with its own house.
Well, and that is good for me because I'm homeless.
But you have a Ferrari to live in.
Woohoo!
So, anyway, you know what? We're going to do gift giving, and that's going to remind us about listening and agreement. In improv, we love gifts. That's actually what we like to do is make our partners look good, and that is truly what it's about. When you do stand-up, it's a whole different world, but Vicki and I, the gift is to make your partner look good. Think about that in your work world, and with a team member or a boss. So we're gonna ask you to
So there's gonna be A and B, right?
Yes.
So the A person will give the gift first. You're each gonna get a gift, don't worry. A will give the gift to B first. So A says, "Here, Sally, I just got you this gift." And then Sally will say, "Thanks, Pat. I really love this horsey." And then Pat will say, "Well, I know you needed a horsey because you got to giddy on up out of here."
All right, so everybody's got it. Yeah, sure.
Just to be clear, when the person giving the gift doesn't name the gift.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes. So great point. A is giving a gift, and they are just giving actually a gift of air.
Yes.
B is receiving the gift and will name that gift, but A will have to make the gift justify. So we'll do it one more time.
Yeah.
So Vicki's going to give me a gift.
Here you go, Sue.
Well, thank you so much for this carton of cigarettes.
Well, I know you needed it because you need to take a break, girl.
Oh, I need the stress of it all, yes. So, honestly, it doesn't have to be cartons of cigarettes, I quit. But just saying is that, so A, identify your A for now, and go ahead and turn to the person next to you and give them a gift. B is now giving the gift to A. B is giving the gift to A. You did it already, great. We're going to do some other fun exercises as well as involving performing. So who can, first off, tell me, was that was a yes and? Absolutely. Because if you had said, if Vicki had given me a gift, and I said, oh, this is a lovely something.
And then I said, no, it's not a something. It is a key.
Oh, and I'm like, well, I don't even drive and I don't care. So how about that for a...
So isn't it so much more fun to agree?
Yes. So we would love to know, what are some of the gifts you got? How about from this section here? What's a gift? Shannon?
I got my dream RV, and Sean gave it to me. He is going to come drink his cognac that
Oh, that sounds like do it after the open house. That's awesome. All right, how about from the middle here? What's a gift that you received? Please.
That I received.
Or gave. We're open.
I realized that the gift that I gave Dan was a grain of salt from sand from my recent trip, and it was named after the dead person in the gutter that I found it in. And that happened to be also the name of the street that gutter was on.
You know what? That is awesome. That That is fabulous.
That's the guy that did improv.
He
so
did improv,
He has
yes.
history.
I could go so many directions with that. I'm going to say yes, Ann, and thank you for sharing. All right, that's awesome. How about from this side? What's a gift that someone gave or received?
I got a rainbow.
You know, aw, who gave you a rainbow, Liz?
Liz gave me a rainbow.
Okay, I just have to do this, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time. Was it a southern rainbow?
It was beautiful. It made my day great.
Yes, and you know what, how nice is that? And that really is, even an improv gift can go right here, and that's just really important.
Yeah, that's the idea, is to connect with each other on a different level. You know, we all come to work with our own issues and problems from the day and stress, and we're breaking things up on the podium.
I
But
had to put a deposit down.
But when we do these kinds of things, you know, we really get out of our head and remind ourselves that let's have fun. Let's have fun together. We have to be together, so we might as well make it a little fun. So right now, I'm gonna just go over with you. We're gonna do some classic improv scenes for you guys, and some of them will be audience participation. And some of them will be, they'll all be audience participation because you participated with putting those slips in there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But just to give you an idea of sometimes what we ask for suggestions, we might ask this section for, what did you have for breakfast? And everybody says at once, 1, 2, 3.
Tuna fish.
Awesome. I heard tuna fish.
Somebody on East Coast time.
And then I might come over here and say, what was your first car? Thunderbird, Monte Carlo, I heard, but it was from over there. Woohoo! And we might ask you for a location that can fit on the stage. Please don't put us in a porta potty. Starbucks is fine. You can put us at your grandma's house and we'll create it. No. So we'll be coming around and asking for some suggestions, and we will be asking, just think about if you're a little bit brave. There's a couple things you can come up here. You don't have to do any of the acting. You will just be fueling our scenes with your suggestions.
And I'm going to add, and I think it's too late to add this, it would be PG. This is a work event. My boss is in the back. Just saying. And everyone's looking at, he really is actually here. But I believe that what we'll be doing later already has had slips put in there that are not PG, so we apologize ahead of time.
Spoiler alert.
I know.
All right, so this is kind of a game that shows yes and, really. I want you to pay attention to the moments where you think that the rules of improv worked and maybe where they didn't work as we're doing the scene. So if we could get a suggestion of a relationship like doctor-patient or brother-sister.
Attorney-client.
Attorney-client.
Okay. Well, fortunately for you, I got your divorce papers.
Well, unfortunately, I want him back.
Fortunately, they weren't filed, but fortunately, I have a bill for you.
Well, unfortunately, I went shopping to celebrate.
So fortunately for you, I take credit cards, PayPal, and a payment plan.
Well, unfortunately, my husband controls all the money. Husband!
Fortunately, I'm single. Just saying.
Unfortunately, I've got nothing.
Fortunately, you still have your divorce papers.
And scene.
Oh, that was a positive, wasn't it? Yeah. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the fortunately, unfortunately. We're going to do that together and a little more. Was that involving listening? Yes, and agreement. Sound like a work meeting? Think about it in your head. So you can do that fortunately, unfortunately, when you're having a meeting. I think it might be kind of funny if you started every sentence with your boss or your team with fortunately, or unfortunately, it may not work well. But if you do kind of go through your mind with that, it could actually keep you on a more positive or a forward mark. Shall we do one more?
Sure.
Okay. How about a suggestion of a location that can fit on the stage? Like a porta potty or a Starbucks? A rowboat. All right. Okay, fortunately I don't camp.
Well, unfortunately, we're stuck on here. There's a zombie apocalypse.
Unfortunately, I don't fortunately.
Fortunately.
Are you fortunately?
I'm unfortunately, but I want to be fortunately.
All right, fortunately, I have some repellent of zombies.
Well, fortunately, I think you're fantastic, and I love you.
Unfortunately, I'm taken.
Fortunately, I'm just a people pleaser, and I was just saying that.
Fortunately, we're not really stuck on this rowboat because look, there's the shoreline.
Fortunately, there's really not any zombies.
Unfortunately, there aren't any zombies. It's silly, it's fun. I'm not saying doing this with your team, it might be a fun icebreaker. I can imagine the looks on my peeps' faces if I decided to do this in the center, but they're already used to my craziness, so. Any questions or thoughts on that? How about if we do one? So everyone, I'm gonna make you stand up again. It's good to stretch. I didn't pay for the extra cushion on the chair. I love you, fortunately. Maybe switch to the behind you or in front of you and do an A and B. And as you can see, I couldn't remember if I was fortunately, unfortunately, and Vicky agreed. So let's go ahead. Fortunately will be A, and B will be unfortunately. Yeah, that was kind of fun. Just a little different route. So, we are going to play some games. Yay! And we are going to, well, first off, I need a volunteer. Now, don't make me pick. Oh, right, this gentleman? Come on up. All right. Come on in the stage. There's steps there, or not. And, and I'm going to ask Monica, you're going to stand up and, yeah. And we're going to actually, we have a keychain for volunteering. All right. So, we're going to do a day in your life. So,
What's your name first?
My name is...
Charles!
So,
I'm actually from Chicago. Sarasota, Florida.
okay. So we're going to ask the questions, and I don't know why you don't know your name and you had to ask them, but I'm gonna go under the assumption that you'll know these questions. So we're going to do a day in Charlie.
No, it's Charles.
What do you go by, love you?
Prince Charles is good.
Oh, okay. So there's always a comedian in improv that wants to be center stage. So we really would like to play a day in your life. So we were going to do a day in Charles or Prince Charles or whatever the heck his name is life. So tell us about this morning. What's the first thing you did when you got up?
Turn on the radio.
Okay, and what station did you listen to, or what kind of music?
Pandora Trance Mix.
And what kind of mix is that?
Trance.
I don't know what's, so
I
trance?
can't help that you don't know. Let's think like music, like
Yeah,
just
just like immediate meditation or, All right, so.
House music without the bass.
I will go with it. It's improv. So, what did you, after you turned on your Pandora radio, what did you actually do next?
We'll skip the next 3 minutes, and then I started getting ready for the morning.
Okay, so we understand that. Did you check your email?
No.
No. Okay, so did you get on the phone?
Yes, I got actually woken up by a text message.
From?
Oh, friend.
Okay, a special friend that woke him up by a text message. All right, and you live where?
In a house.
Okay, and you said in Sarasota or in
Sarasota.
Dakota? Okay, so thanks for bringing them, Dan. So that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, yes, sir.
All right, Prince Charles. What would you use 3 words, or what would your best friend, 3 words would they use to describe you?
Sarcastic.
Sarcastic, I see that.
Honest.
Honest.
And center of attention.
Center of attention. Okay. Life of the party. Okay, and then what do you like to do when you're not working for fun? On a Sunday, for example.
Outdoor activities, beach, swim, pool.
Okay, okay. Do you have any pets?
No.
Do you have any friends? No, really.
Or adults. I think that's where she's going with it.
No, no,
As adults, we have less friends. But yes, I have a handful of friends.
And are the 2 of them here?
Yeah.
So Dan is not.
Well, I just learned in the fortunately, that I have one less.
Oh.
All right, so what we're going to do in just a moment is play a day in the life of Prince Charles. So what he's going to have to do is he's going to go over here with the bell and the horn. We're going to steal the mic back, give it to my partner here, and we are going to play a day in the life of Prince Charles. So whatever that means. But here's the fun part. He gets to guide us. So if he agrees what Vicki or I are doing on stage, he's going to give a little bell, and we will continue in that route. If we really are off, he's going to use this really inexpensive horn. Okay, so maybe that's perfect. We love it. That's perfect. Give him a round of hand for playing the horn. We'll take that. That's fine. And the fun part with this is that we have to change our scene in order to follow Prince Charles' day in the life. And so just 1 or 2 other questions. Do you have, you said you didn't have pets, right? No. Do you live on the beach or near the beach or 1 mile? And did you know him with the sand?
No, it was a different beat.
Okay. All right. Any questions? All right. So Monica here will help remind Prince Charles if he needs a little assistance with the bell and the horn, and we will now take you into a day in the life of Prince Charles. We're not going to use mics. Can you hear us?
Yeah. All right. Oh. I slept great. This hotel has the best beds. Let's listen to some music. Yeah, I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna be looking good today. Oh yeah, I'll put my bow tie on. I'll tweeze my eyebrows. All right. I'm gonna get down there.
Ding, ding. Here comes the text.
Oh
always want to be the center of attention.
I am the center of attention.
You are. You're just like a grain of salt or sand.
And you know what? I'm not homeless.
No, you're not.
Thanks to you.
Because I'm your boss and
Yes.
bossy. I don't know how I boss you. I'm just saying because, you only have a handful of friends.
Well, you know what?
Hey, off.
I have 100 friends. You have 100 friends.
I know, but you're the best one.
I know.
Hey.
All right, I think we should give Prince Charles a big round of
So, which one are we doing next? We're doing, now
We need 3 people to come up, if you don't mind. 3 people?
No, you are not volunteering anybody. Jenny, you volunteered him.
This one is easy. You just have to say one word.
We need 2 more.
It's called One Word Story. I'm sure you guys have heard about it.
Come on up.
One more? I saw you volunteering earlier. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to create a never before heard story with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. I still count on my fingers. That's why I do improv and sales.
Okay, I just have to say this is a Chicago keychain. We don't make them in Evanston.
All right, so what we're going to do is Sue's going to start out. We're going to get a suggestion from the audience, and we're just going to say one word. So one word could be the, one word could be baton. We'll just go along and we'll tell a story until the story organically ends. Okay? So if we could get a suggestion of your favorite childhood toy. Say it again? A ship. I love it. Okay.
I hope you said ship. Ship. Okay, good. Ship
Floats.
Everywhere.
Especially
In
the
bathtub.
my
Ship
loves.
suds.
Woohoo! All right, let's do another one. And if we can get a suggestion of maybe the last piece of advice your boss gave you.
Don't volunteer at the conference.
or don't be volunteers.
Okay, so I'll take volunteer out of that. Wendy
Said
not to
Have
any fun.
today.
Dan
Stupidly.
does always
drink
when Chuck
Says
goodbye. And how about one more. We do it in 3s. So if we could get a suggestion of a group of people in high school, like cheerleaders. Okay. Well, that's got to be Michelle.
has
Short. Pom-poms.
the end. So a few things about that. A lot of yes and listening. How about clear communication? Really, we use that as our clear communication. All right, Monica, back on deck with the slips, please. So at the registration table, we asked, or my staff asked you if you would fill out some slips. And we also had a poster board with some pre-written slips on it. So we asked for slips favorite movie title, favorite movie line, favorite quote, something your boss said, something your partner said to you, and we basically had you put them in there and fold them up, and so now here comes the fun part. Vicki and I will be using these in a scene, and we will yes and them, we will justify them, we will agree with them, but we have to make them work in the scene. All right, so I am excited to see what is in our secret jar. We have not seen them, so we're very excited. So we do need a suggestion in order to get us going. How about a relationship? Like lawyer, doctor,
Mother-daughter.
mother-daughter. Got it. Again, we're going to use no mic, so let us know if you can't hear.
Honey, can you please make breakfast for me today?
Mom, I've got to go. I got cheerleading practice in 5 minutes.
I have a huge presentation that I have to do today. I need your help.
It's always about you. You. That's what it's about. And I'm just saying, it is Bill's tongue that you really tongue. He has a terrible tongue, and my brother Bill is always saying bad words.
Well, that's why I go to you with these things, because you don't have a bad tongue. And what you have is, I don't want to get into the details, but excuses.
You did not go to like that mom class that they had at the JCC last week.
I surely didn't.
You did not, and I learned from you about excuses, and I am going to be late for cheerleading.
Well, keep calm and do whatever you do.
Dance like it's 1999.
I'm gonna say to your father, take me to bed or lose me forever.
Aren't you my mother? I'm not supposed to hear those things.
Well, there's one thing that I really need to tell you today. I know it's a very important day for you, honey.
It's cheerleading.
And I know, and I hope you make captain. I really do.
That's a lot of work.
Here's what we need.
What's that?
Let me help you write your resume.
I don't want a job. I'm only 17 and a half.
And beautiful as ever.
Well, I know that, but I don't want a job. I'm a micromanager, so I don't want a job.
That's why I asked you to make breakfast, because you're so good at managing things around here. Just for me, I'll be all right here always.
Oh, you're the best mom ever. I always tell my friends this. I tell my friends something about you. Slept late. She always sleeps in. She does. Sleeps in.
Well,
Sleeps in.
I work at the hotel, and I do a lot of work, and my manager told me yesterday, you're not going to believe what my manager told me. He told me, why are police knocking on my door?
Well, it might have been next door at that marijuana clinic. I mean, I just told him I had a certificate.
What do you know about a marijuana clinic?
I know this. I know this is an alligator there in my yard. No, I really, it was just a little marijuana that made it.
The cheerleader squad talking like that. I'm going to tell you this. Here's what you need to do. Come on to the coast, and we'll have a few laughs.
I'd like to go to Sarasota and have some. I'd like to go, and I've never been there. I don't even know where it is in Florida, but I'd like to go. My name is no, my sign is no, my number is no, you need to let it go. That's what I'm going to do in my cheer. You need it, no, my name is no, let it go. Whoa! I need a drink. Anybody want to try this that hasn't done improv? Oh. All right, was that fun? So, I will tell you that this game it's one of my favorites because every one of your slips are gifts to us. Every single one of those are a gift to Vicki and I, and we get to play with it and have a lot of fun. We love this game, and what we usually normally do it is actually we leave the room and you guys would write down the slips so you know who wrote those. Here's my thought. Some of those have their name on them. Just saying, Bill. Okay, so can we turn the slides back on and bring a pretty picture of me?
Yes.
So anyway, very fun, a lot of agreement with that, a lot of yes and. There is, if whatever Vicki said to me or I said to Vicki, we had to embrace it and move forward with it. Very, very important.
So I think now we have a few gifts we want to leave with you that are, things that we've learned in improv, and hopefully you've taken a little bit out of this. But the number one gift that I've learned in improv, because I tend to be a little serious, is always have fun. Always have fun. I mean, think of the fun way to do it. If we're in the elevator and it's taking too long, I just press all the buttons.
Does everyone know what an elevator speech is? Do you guys know what
Raise
that
your
is?
hand if you do, because Sue did not.
I'm going to say I did not. Vicki and I were doing a proposal, and she's like, we have to do an elevator speech. So I'm like, all right. Hello, I'm Sue Ponarelli. Thanks for coming to my elevator. So anyway, I learned something new, and I do learn something new every day. And we like to be in the moment. So that's our second gift to you. Truly be in the moment, whether it's with your partner, whether it's at work, whether it's at your center, which is hopefully at work, not in your house. Well, I guess it could be your house, but we do like to be in the moment.
And something that they constantly say in improv is it's make your partner look good. Make your teammates look good. It doesn't matter who gets the credit. If it gets done, and I think you guys probably deal with this a lot in call centers and in contact centers, because it's not about who wins. There's no prize. It's about just getting stuff done and taking care of things.
And probably our very, very favorite is color outside of the lines. And we mean that in improv, at work. It's just really an important something to do every day. It makes life so much more fun to do that. So we just wanted to say thank you for our time together. We appreciate
you very
it.
much.
And we just wonder, anyone have any questions or anything they'd like to add? Anyone dying to do some improv? You want to do improv? It's so funny. Everybody keeps pointing at other people. Shannon, do you want to do it? All right, should we do, so here's what we'll do as a final thing. We'll do some freeze tag. So anyone that would like to come play with us that is familiar with freeze tag, please feel, I'm out of keychains though, so come on up and join us. Anybody? I know Prince Charles that you're quite familiar with freeze tag. Come on. All right, and you are welcome on our stage anytime.
You gave us so many gifts.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes. So freeze tag is what's called a staple of improv. And basically, we're going to have a back line. Are you familiar? We'll do it. So freeze tag, if you can guys step back, we're going to have two people out here doing a scene. And anyone from the back at any time can yell. They can yell freeze. And so when... well, you can move, so yell freeze, and they have to take on the exact same position as the other person, but here's the fun part. They have to start a brand new scene. So Vicki and Shannon and Vicki will go ahead and start with the scene in order to get us going. What's your first name? All right, Vicki, you'll be an M. All right, and how about you, young lady? What's your first name? With the C? Yes. Okay, or an S. Which do you want to be, a C or an S? There's no right or wrong.
I'm not going to be an S.
Okay, then you'll be a C. This is Shannon and improv. No, I'm not doing it. Yes, and all right. So she's going to be a C. There is no right and wrong. However she wants to make her C. So we'll go ahead and get going, and you and I will yell freeze and take any time.
I teased my hair, and these buns are humongous.
But wouldn't it look wonderful if you did it over on the side?
I love your wave. It
my waist muscles.
Freeze. Mom, I was a cheerleader and I got stuck like this again. Remember, you didn't take the parenting class.
Well, we forgot when we had to go to the brain clinic to separate our skull.
You know, Prince Charles, I think that I have so much brain material in there they couldn't open my skull. They're like, whoa, your brain is big, gigantic.
Maybe next time they need to work on the other side.
The other, well, I have several brains. I'm like unique. You know, I have like a brain in Evanston, and then I have a brain in BioHair. Freeze. Okay. Stop. Okay.
But my brain looks best in this position.
Your brain is beautiful, Shannon. You have the most beautiful brain ever I've seen in my entire life. Beautiful. Like, let's do brain poses. I'm not exactly sure what a brain pose is.
Freeze.
Thank you for picking up all the broken glass.
Oh, when I did, I think my back went out.
Oh my
I
goodness.
don't know how to get out.
Wally, what are we gonna do?
Oh, I don't know.
Our china is broken and now you're back.
Freeze. I am not begging you to marry me. No.
Please,
No.
please,
No.
my clock is ticking.
Your clock is talk.
The wind just keeps blowing here in Chicago. I don't know what to do.
My head is a mess.
I love this new dance that we do in the morning when we get up.
Oh.
3 minutes.
That's how I keep these abs. Susie Orman, you know, has nothing on finance, but my abs are kicking.
Hey, Shannon, I have one more keychain. You, Prince Charles got one. Thank you. Appreciate it. So that ends our time with you today, and we appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Be kind to each other, give gifts, and color outside of the lines.
Thank you.